Hi guys, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Tonight's WSL weekly show. I'll be joined by Peter Mack from the Everton Supporters Club. Follows the men and the women home and away. So I'll be joined by him to get thoughts on Everton. We'll talk all things WSL. We'll get Pete's thoughts ahead of the weekend as Leicester take on Everton at the weekend. We'll also be looking back at Leicester and Everton's games at the weekend in the WSL, what went right for each team and what went wrong. So we'll get his thoughts ahead of that. Guys, as always, smash a like, share, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV if you're new watching tonight. We are live 7 days a week. Monday with a Fan Zone show. Tonight with the WSL weekly show. The away fan chat show tomorrow with SW6 Lions, the Chelsea channel. The Premier League prediction show returns this Thursday at 7:30 with Tom. I think the guest is Dora on tour. The pre-match show is on Friday, of course, with Reedy. The watch-along returns Saturday as Leicester take on Chelsea. The aftermath show will be back this weekend on Sunday, 10 o'clock with Jamie to talk all post-match Chelsea and Leicester. Right then, guys, let's get going.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the WSL weekly show. How is everyone tonight? Really hope you're all well. Follow us, guys, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you can find it, Leicester Fan TV. Give us a follow. Smash a like on this stream for me, as always. And let's get Peter in to talk all things Leicester City and Everton. Peter, how are you, pal?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks very much for having me on.
No, pleasure. Evening, Amanda. Evening, Maz. So then, Peter, tell us what you do for Everton Football Club.
Well, I'm secretary for the official Everton Women Supporters Club. Julie is the chairperson, and she's fantastic. And basically, I just help Julie out with whatever she needs. So she gets a bit camera shy. She sends me on things like this. She gets me to do a lot of the social media, like design work for social media posts. And the main thing is basically just trying to drum up some more support for our girls. I'm a huge Everton fan. I've had a season ticket at Goodison Park for the men's team for 24 years. I go home and away with the men, but I'm a huge fan of the women's team. So one of the main things I want to try and do is try and sort of bridge that gap, if you like, and try and bring a lot more supporters across from the men's team to start really, following the women's team, because Evertonians are a very passionate bunch, and it'd be great if we can replicate that with the women's team and really get Walton Hall Park bouncing and start producing a really great atmosphere there.
Yep. Peter, let's get on to the first game, Brighton and Leicester. I don't know if you watched much of that game in the highlights or anything at the weekend. I was there at the Amex. It was a tough one to take for Leicester City, conceding in the 93rd minute to Brighton. I thought, to be honest, sitting at the Amex, I thought Leicester would get a draw. But then to give the free kick, which the ref did, there were some dubious decisions in the game. But you can't blame the decisions on the referee, can you? In games, you have to move on, don't you, with this one? Brighton scored the free kick. Gemma Perfield again, fantastic. The defence with obviously Brougham, ex-Toffee. Really strong. Showed some character at the weekend. I thought they all stuck together, the girls. They worked really hard. It was just a shame that we didn't get the points. But I mean, with the WSL, it's very unpredictable, isn't it? And you've got to work hard to get your points, haven't you?
Absolutely. I think certainly this season in particular, you've seen that pretty much anyone can beat anyone. When you look at, for example, where Manchester City are in the league, it shows that it is such a competitive league. We played Brighton a couple of weeks ago, and they beat us at home. Again, they're a very, very organised side, very, very hard to break down, but also, they hold on to a lead. But, unfortunately for yourselves, it didn't give you any time to get back into the game with the timing of their goal. But certainly for Leicester, I mean, looking at how you played last season in the Championship and the team that you have, and it's only a matter of time until it really clicks and the players start to settle into this league. You've got some experience, big experience in that side. Like you say, there's a lot of former Everton players in that team. Georgia Brown, Kirstie, Levell, who's a fantastic goalkeeper from her time at Everton. She was absolutely phenomenal. I was devastated when she left, to be honest with you. One of the best shot stoppers I've seen in the men's or women's game. Her reactions are unbelievable. And obviously Molly Pike as well, another player, ex-Everton player, very, very, very cultured midfielder, I'd call her. She's great on the ball, very rarely loses the ball. She's very intelligent with her passing. She's always showing for the ball. Another great young player. So look at the Leicester side, and I think it is only a matter of time until it clicks. And in this league, because it's so tight, 1 or 2 wins, and all of a sudden you can go up 3 or 4 places. I know Leicester are really struggling at the moment, but I just think that they're not that far away from clicking and sort of coming into their own in this league. I certainly don't think it's by any means over in terms of Leicester's season. I think that they've got enough quality in that squad to stay up, but it's all about getting points on the board now. And unfortunately, a last minute goal against Brighton has cost you a point.
Yeah, I thought we played really well against Brighton. We defended well. We solided up quite a lot at the back. McManus played well. Levell, fantastic saves again. Kept us in the game quite a few times against Brighton. Obviously, Brighton were offside quite a lot of times in the game. Obviously, De Graaf had opportunity in the first half to score. But I think with Leicester, we're working hard and we're showing that we can actually compete with the best in this division that's on offer. And I say to the girls every week, I say, the points are coming. They're very good and they believe in their abilities, and so do I. And I think they can scrape relegation this season. I mean, Birmingham, look at them this season. They're not really top to tail, are they? They were favourites for relegation at the start. But this season, they're struggling again. They're only a point between Leicester and Birmingham. I mean, if we'd got at points at the weekend, we would have been talking differently. It would have been a battle to the finish. But I mean, we've got, obviously, a lot of talent in that squad now, Leicester. Like you say, the experience of Georgia Brougham and McManus, Jess Sigsworth, Tasha Flint. We've got some very good, talented players who can help with the younger players as well. Shame the result ended up the way it is, but sometimes results happen that way in the WSL. You can't help that, but I think it's tough to take, isn't it, conceding in the last minute. I mean, we had a chance with Flint straight after, but goalkeeper saved it. I mean, the girls are getting better and they're becoming stronger and more confident, and like I say, the points ain't far away. But let's move to your game then. A draw with high-flying Manchester United. A great goal by Ella Toon.
Yeah, it was a great start from Man United. I think at that point, I was worried that the floodgates had opened. We've had a few heavy defeats so far this season against the top sides, and Manchester United are put in that bracket. I think they've got a fantastic squad. I know that they haven't hit top form. I don't think this season so far. I think they found it difficult with a new system in place, new manager. But certainly when they scored so early on, it did sort of knock the mood a little bit in the stands. We felt that it could have gone very wrong for Everton. But to be fair, the girls showed great character straight away. They didn't just sit back and try and consolidate and panic. They really went at Man United, and we created a lot of chances ourselves. Claire Emsley had a great effort in the first half, which hit the crossbar. Valerie Gorvan had another chance. We started coming into our own, certainly after about half an hour. We really started pressing Manchester United, and in the second half we were brilliant. We chased everything. We battled for every ball. and we got our just rewards when Simone McGill scored the equaliser. Unfortunately, it was a little bit late because at that point we were in the ascendancy. It was almost like it's only a matter of time till we score. But then another 10 minutes passed, and you're thinking, oh, is this going to happen? But it was pure dogged determination from Simone McGill that got her that goal. And that's the type of goal that Simone McGill will get you. She'll get you a goal out of nothing because she just doesn't give anything up. And I think that sort of epitomised the attitude of our players on Sunday. The players just didn't give up, and you could see that the Man United players were very tired by the end. I mean, Manchester United normally when they come to Walton Hall Park, they look like they could run around all day, but they looked absolutely shattered by the end of that game. And as I say, if it would have gone another 5 or 10 minutes, I really do think that we would have gone on to win because we were just in the ascendancy and putting them under pressure. Having said that, they then have a chance with about a minute to go, and Sandy McKeever pulls off a top class save to save the point for us. So overall, I'm very happy with the performance. I'm happy with the results as well. Slightly disappointed that we didn't get all 3 points, to be honest, which is strange considering how long we were behind for. But even so, it's a point against Manchester United and a very well deserved one.
Yeah, let's look at the other results, Peter. Tottenham nearly got a win against Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal scored in the very last minute. Their striker's on some top form, isn't she? The Arsenal striker. She's banging in the goals. I mean, they've got some incredible players, haven't they, Arsenal, at the minute? They're performing to the highest of levels, and they're going to be very difficult to beat. Birmingham, again, lost to local Aston Villa. That's a right kick in the teeth considering it's a derby. Man City, again, on the receiving end of a battering. I believe they haven't won a game in 5 or 6 games at home, and that's the first time they've ever done it in the WSL. Obviously, Chelsea, Sam Kerr, Frank Kirby, Christiansen and that, they're very good, aren't they, Peter, in this division, Chelsea, and fully deserve where they are.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw the quality from Chelsea from last season. They were absolutely, unbelievable. They came up short in the Champions League final, but I think that was just the very fact that they got there showed the quality that they've got in that side. I think this season's title race obviously looks like it's going to be between Chelsea and Arsenal. 2 fantastic teams. To be honest, I thought Arsenal may struggle this season. They lost Van der Donk in the summer. I thought she was a vital piece of that jigsaw in the Arsenal midfield. But I mean, they're absolutely flying at the moment, aren't they? And Beth Mead is on in the best form of her career, I think. But then going back to Chelsea again, they just look they're strong all over the pitch. I mean, I always look at our squad and think that we're always 1 or 2 injuries away from sort of struggling. You look at Chelsea's squad; they've got options, and they've got numerous options in every position. They're a top side with a fantastic manager as well.
Yeah. West Ham United then 2-2 draw against Reading. I mean, Reading are starting to now pick up points, aren't they? At the start of the season, they struggled. I just think now Reading have pulled away, haven't they, at the minute? Obviously, they're 6 points clear, Birmingham and 7 at Leicester. I mean, it's going to be a tight one down at the bottom. But I think Leicester will stay up this season. I think the points will come. Do you think LCFC women need a new manager? That's a tough one. I mean, Jonathan deserves a chance, and rightfully so. He's worked so incredibly hard with the women. He won the championship last season, and he's done an incredible job coming in as manager, and he's got a great relationship and that. I think things are getting in the right direction for the women. I think the points are coming. But it's just at the minute very concerning. Like you would be, obviously being at the bottom, but I think the points will turn up. The girls are working incredibly hard each week, but we've just got nothing to show for it at the minute. But no, I don't think we need a new manager. I think sticking with Jonathan will be the right idea for now. What are your thoughts on Everton this season then, Pete?
Well, we started the season. Well, we went into the season with high hopes. To be honest, we made a number of signings in the summer. Willie Kirk was talking about, challenging that top three and trying to get a European spot, and the wheels fell off within a couple of games. We had two humbling defeats against Manchester City and Chelsea, and unfortunately that led to Willie Kirk losing his job. It was a very tough start. I mean, when you look at the fixture list as well, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea in the opening games, it was a very, very tough start for Everton. I don't think it was helped by, sometimes you can make quality signings, but sometimes if you make too many at once, it can sort of unsettle the side. It takes a while for players to settle into a team. So I always thought that would be a danger if we changed too much too quickly. I felt that when we started against Manchester City, I felt we left ourselves open because Leone Meyer was out injured, our right back. Willie Kirk decided to play Rika Savecki, who's a centre-half, very good centre-half, by the way. He decided to play her as a right wing-back with then three central defenders, and Manchester City just tore us apart. And when you look at the form of Man City this season, it's baffling that they were able to cut through our defence with such ease, but we could see from the ground straight away that was where the problem was. It was down our right hand side. They were causing us problems all game, and it's no slight on the players. I just think that the tactically it was very naive. And again against Chelsea, we did the same thing. And ironically, when we actually changed the formation against those two sides, we actually were a lot more solid and we actually caused problems. So I think it was it's a sad time whenever a manager loses his job. It was sad for us because Willie Kirk had done a great job for Everton. But at the same time, I think he put himself under a lot of pressure from his comments in the summer. And he'd always said that the difference between Everton sort of breaking into the top three was about financial backing. He was saying about the finances that other clubs have to compete. And I think the board backed him, to be fair. They backed him in the summer and gave him a lot of money to spend. And they brought quality players in for him. And unfortunately, with that added pressure, there's bigger expectation. And unfortunately, that led to him losing his job. But now we're in a good position. We've got Jean-Luc, who's come in. It's going to take time for him to implement changes in the side. Obviously, he's working with the same players. He's not able to bring his own players in at the moment. As I said, it's going to take time. There's a few injuries in that squad. So I think it's all about patience for Evertonians now. I don't think we're in any danger of getting sucked into any kind of relegation battle. I think we've got a lot of quality and a lot of experience in that squad. I don't think that's even, would even be contemplated. I'd hope so anyway. I don't want to sound too cocky there. I don't want you to send me this in a few months' time. But I hope that we definitely do have enough quality to be able to start showing some better performances. But again, we've just got to have patience. I think that it's the same sort of with Leicester in terms of your manager. When you come into a new league, it's a learning curve for for not just the players. It's a learning curve for the manager and the management team as well. And I think sometimes just being a bit, showing a bit of patience is needed. As I say, I personally probably wouldn't have got rid of Willie Kirk. I think he'd done a very good job for Everton, but he's gone now, so we just need to look forward and back the new manager.
Yeah, you're obviously 10th in the WSL, aren't you, at the minute? Jean-Luc Vasseur, I mean, what is he like as a manager? I mean, how does he put his blueprint on the team? Obviously, he used to manage Lyon, is that correct?
He did, yeah, and he won the treble with Lyon. I think the second season he struggled and ended up leaving. But I said when we got him, a lot of people were sort of dismissing his achievements at Lyon because of he's got an undoubtedly unbelievable side, and certainly the team that he had were a fantastic side. But at the end of the day, you see it a lot. The amount of times in football that you see a team who's expected to win and a team who have the best players don't necessarily win all the time, and you see shocks in football all the time. So it's not always as straightforward as the best players always win. There's got to be leadership from the manager as well. So I think we can be excited. I think certainly when you look around at the available managers, even in world football, I think that he would have been at the top of the list for most teams. Purely from what he's won, but again, I think we've got to give him time. And one of the things I noticed, it was the first game when we played against Leicester. it was the intensity that he plays with. I think we'd lacked that in the opening few games of the season. We seem to have we'd regressed slightly in terms of our commitment with some of not a slight on the players, but it seemed that we were almost a bit too cautious. But against Leicester, we came out the traps and really pressed teams. We struggled to do that against Brighton, but then we went back to that against Manchester United on Sunday. So I think he's gonna want his players pressing. He wants his midfield pushing up. He wants to attack teams, and he one thing I would say that I've noticed for early on is that we tend to play around the back quite a lot, which can sometimes come back to bite you against the top team. So it'll be interesting to see what he sets up like against the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea and Manchester City. Even though they are struggling, they're still a top side. So it'll be interesting to see how he compares to how Willie Kirk set up, because I felt that Willie Kirk was a bit naive against those teams. So I think that's when we're going to see the true test of him. But certainly the signs are looking good so far. Yeah,
the big game then on Sunday at 2:00. Leicester City women take on Everton women. It's going to be a very good test, this one. Let's hope Leicester can bring that confidence, bring that physique, the physicality, the defensive side of our game, what we did really well against Brighton. There's a lot of positives. We would have took out the Brighton game the way we played. We were just very unlucky. Hopefully we can play that way against Everton and score quite a few goals. I mean, Everton, they're not going to be easy to beat, are they? I mean, no one is in this division. I'm just hoping that Leicester can turn up. I mean, the confidence is there. We just need the points to show it with the performances now. I mean, we were very good against Chelsea for about 75 minutes. Yeah. I mean, when you got people like Frank Kirby and Sam Kerr and people like that, you mean it's very difficult to keep them out for 90 minutes, isn't it? But if you have, then it's a fantastic job, well done. Obviously, it wasn't the case, but I believe in the girls that they can get some out of this game. I mean, talking to them on a personal basis, you know, I've said to them, you can go and get points. I mean, the points are coming. Believe and you'll achieve it. You just need to keep working hard on that training ground, make sure you're doing all the right things, and hopefully get them points against Everton. What are your thoughts ahead of this one then, Peter?
Well, I think it's certainly going to be it's going to be a different test to you know, the cup game that we had against you a couple of weeks ago. I think certainly you'll have a full strength side for starters. What my main concern is that although you are solid at the back, if you manage to break through that brick wall at the back, you've then got to get past Kirstie Levell. And, you know, from her time at Everton, I think I said earlier on, she was absolutely phenomenal. She's, again, I'll repeat, she's one of the best shot stoppers I've seen in the men's or women's game. Her reactions are absolutely incredible. So, you know, I think Kirstie, she's probably going to have a point to prove. She's going to want to do well against Everton. Although she spent a lot of time at the club and she's well liked here, I'm sure she'll want to get one over on us. And again, the same for Georgia Brougham. She's got bags of experience in the WSL now. Certainly for us, she was with Birmingham for a couple of years on loan before she's gone to Leicester. So I think it's going to be a very tough test for Everton. I'd like to think that we've got, you know, that we could come back into some form now with a positive result against Manchester United, although it wasn't a win. But Leicester are always going to be dangerous. Let's say the way you played last season, in particular in the Championship. You know, you beat Liverpool to the title, who had high aspirations of wanting to come back up. It was no mean feat for Leicester to have played as well and to win the title as comfortably as they did. So very dangerous side who I've got no doubt will at some point hit top form and start picking up points in this league. I just hope you can wait an extra game.
No. Molly Pike. What are your thoughts on her? I think she's done an incredible job in that midfield this season with Shannon O'Brien and that. What are your thoughts on her? Obviously, she played for Everton as well. Yeah, I mean, when Molly signed for Everton, she was very, very, you know, well sought after and very highly rated. I don't think it was a case that Everton wanted her to leave. I think it was more a case of, I think she wanted, you know, first team football. She wanted, you know, to develop, because she's at an age where she needs to be playing.
week in, week out. And I think it was a shame that we actually let her go. Certainly this season, that's a position that we've probably struggled with, certainly with injuries and loss of form. So I think Molly's always been a very classy midfielder. She's a battler, but she's very clever with the ball. She's the type of player who can really take the game by the scruff of the neck. As I say, she's got bags of energy. She can, her passing she's got a really great range of passing. Very intelligent with the ball. Just a very, very good player, and she's still so young as well. And you can see that she, the impact she's had with the youth teams for England. I think she's got a really bright future ahead of her. And it was a brave move, but a very good move for her, I think, to go out and seek that first team football. It shows the confidence that she has in her own ability. But certainly a player who I was disappointed to see leave Everton, and Leicester have got a fantastic young player there.
Yeah, let's look at some of the key players then. I picked out two, Toni Duggen and Izzy Christiansen. Obviously, England experience as well in the international women's game. Would you say them two are your key players, or which other players would you choose apart from the two English internationals?
Well, those two are certainly key players for us, but I wouldn't discount Claire Emsley. When Claire Emsley plays, Everton are a far more threatening side. She brings something a bit different to our side. She's very direct. She's got two great feet. She's one of the only players I've ever seen who can do an in-swinging corner with either foot. It's incredible to see. She's totally double-footed. She's a really threatening player. And also Kenza Darley. Kenza Darley has been superb for us since she signed in the summer. A really top player showing her class. There's been games where even when we've been getting beaten and we've been getting battered, she's still going in the 90th minute and looking to try and create things. And I think Kenza is a player who I'm really excited to see over the next couple of seasons, because I just think that obviously she was at West Ham and she did well there, but I just look at her and just think she uses quality and class. Certainly Valerie Gorvan, if she can get back up to full fitness, she's a goal threat. She was born to score goals, Valerie Gorvan, and hopefully we can get her fit. Certainly she's absolutely deadly in the air. She's brilliant in the air. Who else have we got? Trying to think of anyone else who might cause you problems, but I don't really want to give too much away. Basically, we've got players all over the pitch who can cause you problems. Aurora Ghali as well. Yeah, Ghali. She was out against Manchester United. I'm not sure why she was missing, to be honest with you. There wasn't really much said about it. I think she had an illness, so hopefully she can be back, and she's looking for her first goal. And I've seen her score a few rockets for Italy, so let's hope that she can come back into the team at the weekend.
Let's go team talk then. I'll go through the Leicester team first. I'd obviously go Kirstie Levell, Georgia Brougham, McManus, Plumpter, Perfield, who I think has been phenomenal this season since signing, Sophie Howard. The midfield, I think it picks itself. Shannon O'Brien, Molly Pike. Does Esme de Graaf start? Maybe. It's going to be a difficult one for the striking positions, though. I mean, Sigsworth has scored this season, so is Flinty. It's going to be a difficult one to see who Jonathan picks. I mean, Tasha Flint changed the game and put it on its head against Brighton. She ran at players and did fantastically well at that. Sigsworth, obviously, she's a goal scorer, scored over 26 goals for Manchester United. She has played her part this season. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the team for the weekend. I mean, does Paige Bailey-Gale fit in? I mean, she's got pace. I mean, to beat Everton, I think you've got to have pace in that squad. You've got to be running up and down them wings and attacking your fullbacks and your defence, because if you can do that, your defence will make mistakes. And I think that's what we'll be hoping for, taking that fight to Everton and winning that midfield battle. I mean, if we can win that midfield battle, then, we'll be in it to win it. I think from a Leicester perspective, it's about closing you down from long distance, because in this league, every shot seems to go in, doesn't it, from long distance? The goalkeepers don't really get much on it. What is your Everton team then, Pete, to play Leicester? Will he make any changes, or will he stick with the same team what played United?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of changes. As I say, Leonie Meyer. I think she would start at right back for me. Gabby George and Natalie Bjorn would be my centre half pairing. Natalie was out at the weekend against United again. I think she picked up a knock in training, but hopefully she will be back fit. Dan Turner at left back. It'd be interesting to see whether Lucy Graham keeps her starting place. She started against Manchester United, first time she started in a while, to be honest with you. But she played sort of on the right-hand side, did really well in the first half. But I'd like to see Lucy, because like you say, that midfield battle is so crucial, certainly in this game. And I think Lucy Graham is that leader that we've missed while she's been out injured. So I think we need her in the midfield, along with Izzy Christiansen, Kenza Darley. And then you've got Claire Emsley, Toni Duggen. And then it's a toss-up between Valerie Gorvan or, if she's fit, Anna Andergaard. I will go with Andergaard if she's fit, just because she's had a bit more playing time this season. And again, you saw the goal she scored against you in the cup. She's she reminds me of Simone McGill in the sense that she just doesn't give anything up. That her goal after a couple of minutes was all to do with just battling, and it was all she just created it herself, didn't she? She caused confusion with your back line and didn't give the ball up, and that's the type of forward I want to see. And that's the thing. You can have a player, like Andergaard, who can run herself into the ground for 60, 70 minutes and then bring Simone McGill into the game, or bring Valerie Gorvan for something different. It's good that we've actually got options. Again, another thing is, I think Lucy Graham's involvement depends on Ghali's fitness. If Aurora Ghali is fit, I think she'll probably come back into the side. It's a tough one, but as I say, I think certainly I can see Natalie Bjorn coming back into the side if she's fit, and I'd hope that Andergaard will be ready as well.
Yeah, let's look at some other fixtures then in the WSL Week 8. Man City at home to Aston Villa. I mean, will Aston Villa make it worse for Manchester City in the WSL? I mean, Man City's going to be down in the dumps at the minute. Villa, on the other hand, just beating Birmingham. They picked up a bit of form. Man United against a on-form Arsenal side. I mean,
tasty.
That's all to play for there. I mean, if that were a Premier League game, it'd be Roy Keane versus Patrick Vieira, them sort of games. Then we've got Chelsea, obviously played Birmingham. That's going to be a difficult one for Birmingham, that one. I mean, Chelsea are on some top form. And I mean, Sam Kerr is on some very good form. She only signed for Chelsea 2 years ago. And look how much she's turned up and worked really hard in getting her goals. And that Frank Kirby partnership, it's just phenomenal to watch. Reading versus Brighton. And then West Ham versus Tottenham. Some very interesting ties. What are your thoughts on Leicester then, Peter, as a whole?
Well, I think one of the things that always stands out for Leicester is it comes across as a family club. It seems to have a very close, tight knit environment to it throughout the men's and the women's team. The club as a whole, they tend to do things the right way. I've always thought highly of Leicester, how they conduct themselves. Certainly, whenever I've been to watch Everton, the men's team, when I've gone to the King's Power, it's always been a good atmosphere. It's always been a welcoming atmosphere as well. I was there when the men's team lifted the title. You beat us that day, but it was my impression of Leicester City, the football club, is that it's a really well run, very family orientated football club. One of the few good ones, if you like. seems the type of club that hasn't lost its soul, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on the Leicester City women? Will they stay up this season, do you think?
I think so. I really do. I think they've got the quality. I think again, it's a case of trying to settle into this league. It's a bit of a shock to the system. I think certainly if you're used to winning every week, it's a feeling that you can get addicted to. You go out. The players can't wait to play the next game. They come off the pitch, haven't won a game. They want to play tomorrow. And I think it's a good habit to get into. And I think certainly psychologically, it's picking up those wins and just getting points on the board, and your confidence just naturally grows. And as I say, you've got the quality players in that side and in that squad to compete in this league, and it's just a matter of time. I think it's a huge loss. I think I said to you earlier on about the loss of Hannah Cain. I'm really devastated to see that she got a serious injury. I really like Hannah. I think she's a really fantastic footballer. Again, another player who I was disappointed to see leave Everton. But also she's always been a really nice person as well. You see with her social media posts, you see how she was with the Everton fans. She just comes across as a really good, genuinely good person. So certainly wishing her all the best in her recovery. It was such a shame for her as well, having just made a debut for Wales a couple of days previously. And she came on and lit the stadium up. She was absolutely fantastic. And I thought, go on, you can kick on now. And I was really looking forward to seeing her for the rest of the season at Leicester, hoping that she could bring that form back and really kick on. So it's a huge disappointment to see her out for the season, but certainly wishing her a speedy recovery, and hopefully that her teammates can do her proud and keep her in this league.
Yeah, she's a fantastic player, Hannah Cain. Met her on numerous occasions. Really nice person. Really down to earth. Really
she's funny, isn't she?
Yeah, really good to talk to as well. She has time for people, and that's just incredible to have time for fans and that. And that's what football should be. Do you know what I mean? Maybe the blokes should take that up a bit more. The women are very different, aren't they? They're very open with the fans, and obviously you build that relationship, don't you, with them, and which is good to see. They really appreciate everything you do for like the women's game and that, and they appreciate you going to watch them, and thank you for your support at the end. And it's good. They're really good to talk to. And I mean, Hannah Cain, fantastic player. Just a shame she got injured, because she would have been a key player for Leicester this season. So she's going to be a big miss, and get well soon, Hannah Cain. What are your predictions then, Peter, for Everton Women this season? Will it be 10th place or will it be even higher?
Well, I'm hoping it'll be higher. Certainly don't want it to be any lower. But I think once we settle into under the new manager, I think we'll start picking up points. Obviously, I mean, before the start of the season, I think we got a bit carried away thinking that we were going to go and challenge for the top three. But the league's very tight. It's teams are taking points off everyone. You look at the way Man City have dropped down. I've got no doubt that at some point Man City will hit form again and start climbing the league. But hopefully Everton can do the same. We have had a tough run of fixtures to start the campaign off. I think again it's all about that. Once you start picking up wins and picking up points, the confidence just grows, and players start believing in themselves a bit more. And I just think that's what we need. The other thing I really can't stand about this time of the season are the international breaks, because every time you seem to get a bit of momentum, the players start to gel. Half the squad's off, or the whole squad is off on international duty, and you come back in, and then they look laboured. Some of the players come back injured. Some of the players look tired. I'm just happy, once the internationals are out of the way, that's when I sort of, you can sort of start really concentrating and start really sort of getting stuck into the to the league campaign. I really think that it does distract the players. So hopefully now we can try and start to build up a bit of momentum under the new manager leading up to the winter break, and then come back all guns blazing for the second half of the season.
Yep. Conti Cup action, guys. Leicester travel to Durham in the Cup tomorrow. Go and check that out on the FA player. It'll be 7 o'clock kickoff. So yeah, go and watch the women and cheer them on. Sophie Howard has been called up to Scotland. Congratulations, Soph, on that one. They'll be playing Spain and another team, which is good to see. Peter, then, score prediction for Sunday's game.
I'm going to say, and I do apologise, I'm going to say 3-1 Everton again.
Okay, that's fine. Peter, you've been I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Leicester win on this one. So it's going to be an interesting game. Hopefully, I'll catch you on Sunday at Burton.
Yeah, well, you won't see me for dust if you end up winning 2-1. I'll be gone.
Right, Peter. Thank you for coming on, pal.
Thanks so much, Jack.
As always, and I'll catch up with you again soon.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers, pal. Bye. That was Peter Mack, a big Everton supporter and big women's supporter as well at the women's game. Let's have a look then. What's coming up on Leicester Fan TV, shall we? For the rest of the week. We've got the away fan chat show tomorrow with SW6 Lions. We'll be talking all things Leicester-Chelsea. We'll be getting an opposition view on Chelsea. The Premier League prediction show returns Thursday at 7:30. The pre-match show with Reedy on Friday, talking all things Leicester. The watch-along is on Saturday at 12 o'clock. So join Elijah in that, maybe Michael as well for the watch along. If not, come and say hello to me, Phil and the boys on Saturday outside the Blues Bar. If you're not at the game, check out the watch along. I'm sure it'll be exciting as always. The aftermath show then we'll be back on Sunday with Jamie at 10 o'clock. So join in for that and get your cup of tea ready and get your feet up. And enjoy the show. Thank you to all the sponsors: ADT, Hollogram, Tiger, Peter Pizzeria, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, the Fox's Arms, Newby Co, and Hope Against Cancer. Thank you to all them guys. And thank you to you guys for watching tonight. Really hope you've enjoyed the show and getting an insight into Leicester City women and Everton. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, if you can, smash a like, share, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV if you're new watching tonight. It'd be much appreciated. Thank you for all the comments. And I will see you tomorrow night at 7:30 for the away fan chat show. This is Jack from Leicester Fan TV saying good night and bye-bye for now.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.